I'm just gonna start off today's video with something interesting which I've noticed. So if you have Jin, right? So let's say you're running around. So like we are running around like this, right? So what I've realized is, let's say once you stop, you can actually see her boobies jiggling. Come, let me show you. So I'm gonna run here and then run here. Do you see it? Do you see the jiggle? Come, one more time. Look at that, yo! Dude, she is waifu, man! Alright! Alright, curry lovers, welcome back. So today we are going to talk a bit about the controversy that has been surrounding Reddit and also the MiHoYo official forum, which mainly talks about Zhongli. So yes, I am aware there are a lot of videos out there, but today I'm going to talk mainly about why did the controversy arise. So the controversy has less to do with the character and more to do with the kit that he has and also the constellation get in a way. So looking at Zhongli, right? Why is he such a disappointment? Well, it has less to do with the character and more to do with the hype, because some of the YouTubers they have access to leaks or beta version, and then they were kind enough to share it with the community, right? And when we all saw it, we all went bananas, because number one, his character design is amazing, and number two is the lore of Zhongli in the game is absolutely fantastic. He is the god of war, and he is actually the strongest Archon during the Archon War period, and he rose on top of all the other Archons. You can argue that he lost his Geonosis to the Fatui, but you still cannot disregard that he is an Archon. So even if he lost his Geonosis, he is still an ex-Archon. He is a god of Genshin Impact. So looking at that, right? So what is wrong with his constellation? It's not really about what is wrong, but just how amazing the constellations are. So at C0, you can only create one of these stone pillar, which is, to be honest, very subpar. The damage is ridiculous, like ridiculously low. And his elemental burst, the planet before that you can see here, at level 7 it can only petrify the enemy for 3.7 seconds. So at level 10 you can only petrify them for 10 seconds. And you need to unlock his constellation to make him better. So now with that out of the way, let us talk about his constellation. So what I realized with Zhongli is, at every new constellation that you unlock, he will become a different unit altogether. So right now at constellation 0, he is a bit clunky, a bit clumsy to use. But once you hit constellation 1, boom, you can create 2 of his stone steels right now. And with 2 of them, not only do you dish out more damage, it will actually give you a bigger radius to resonate with your other geostructures. For example, Ningguang's screen, or even the Geos MC burst damage, the stone walls. And with 2 of them, right, the whole screen will be filled with geo damage and geo resonance. So this is the first one. And then when you unlock his second constellation, he becomes another character altogether again. So at his second constellation, the planet before will actually grant all the nearby characters on the field a jet shield. So the thing with Zhongli is, his jet shield is easily the best shield in the whole game, because it will give you immunity to interruption. So with his constellation 2, your jet shield has more or less 100% uptime. So you press E, right? You hold E and then you generate your jet shield, and once it expires or it is destroyed, you press Q, the elemental burst, and straight away your jet shield is replenished. So this way, by cycling through your E skill and your burst skill, right, your jet shield will more or less have 100% uptime. And if you unlock his 4th constellation, his role will change again. Because look at that, the 4th constellation will increase his elemental burst AoE by 20% and increase the petrification duration by 2 seconds. 2 goddamn seconds. Think about it. He'll become a Geo Venti on top of being a shield bot, on top of being a dual resonance machine. So right now you have a sub DPS plus a shield god, and now you have a geo venti as well. So let's say you have the resources and the money, and you go all out, and you go to Constellation 6. Now he has heal built into his kit. Okay, although you cannot generate more than 8% of the max HP, you can already replace Barbara or Chichi in your group. Because with this constellation, you'll be consistently healing up without any issues. So that's why I was saying it has less to do with how bad the constellations are, but more to do with just how broken and how much more mechanic and gameplay you can do with Zhongli when you unlock more and more constellations. So looking at it this way, right, from a constellation 0 clumsy Zhongli, and when you unlock him to, let's say, C4 or C6, the roles that he play will be totally different altogether. At C6 he can play 3 roles at once: a shielder, a CC god, and also a healer. So you have Noel, Venti, and Barbara all in one. And then the shield strength is also very high if you build him pure HP. So that's why this is where the controversy arises. Because if you look at the other characters, right, like Klee for example, Klee, right, even without his Constellation 1, she is still a very fun unit to play. Like you can still play her as a DPS unit. Yes, her damage might be a bit lower, but you will still get the enjoyment from playing her as a DPS unit. Or let's say Diluc. Diluc at Constellation 0 is also a really amazing and fantastic DPS unit. And his Constellation will only be there to make his gameplay more exciting, and he'll be able to chunk out bigger numbers as well. Okay, then we can look at the other ex-Archon, Venti. So at Constellation 0, he is a godlike unit with his amazing CC, whereby he will suck all the enemies in and they cannot do anything to retaliate. So the constellation that he has will also greatly improve his utility, but overall it won't change his gameplay by too much. So at Constellation 6, you'll be able to shred a lot of resistance from the enemy, but his basic gameplay as the main crowd control is still there. Whereas with Zhongli, right, with each constellation that you unlock, he will get a new role adding into his kit. So this is where the dissatisfaction comes in from the community, and I can totally empathize with that, because this is just too shady and too scummy. If this is going to happen with the future units, so imagine Xiao, Ayaka, Ganyu, and Albedo, all of them have their kit and gameplay locked behind constellations. It's going to be very brutal, because let's say I really like a character, and I want to enjoy his gameplay, but I can't because I do not have the money or the resources to unlock his constellation. And because of that, the enjoyment I derive from the gameplay will be cut in half. So you can argue that, alright, you can skip the character and go for other character that has more DPS. But here's the thing, there are some characters that people really love. Like let's say, for example, like myself, I really love Zhongli. I have been waiting and saving up for him for 1 month. And when he came out like this, right, I was like, wow, this is just ridiculous. It makes no sense. From a business standpoint, I can understand that MiHoYo wants to get as much profit as possible. But how about the long-term plan? Why not go for the long-term plan? You make the character good at Constellation 0, and then with each constellation, you just improve on their gameplay. Make it more exciting, but not introducing new role with each constellation. So you do not want to introduce the roles or lock his roles behind constellation. So yeah, this is what I have mainly observed from the Zhongli's controversy, and I'm totally behind the community to buff him up. lately we do have some news of him coming out from MiHoYo's official stuff, saying that no, they will not buff Zhongli in the future because there will be an enabler for Zhongli in the future. Can you imagine? You pull this husband that you like a lot, but you cannot even use him because there's no enabler, and you need to spend another few. Let's say Albedo is the enabler, right? You have to spend real money this time because all your saved gems have been spent in Zhongli. Like, that is just shady, man. That is not even good business practice. That is shady as hell. If that is really the case, right, I really feel sorry for the dolphins like myself, the sardines, and even the free-to-players, because the character that I really love is clumsy because the enabler cannot even be put unless you really throw real money into the game, which I'm sure most of us are unwilling to, because we have a lot of commitments in real life as well, like our living expenses, our rents, our family, things like those. So all in all, right, I am behind the community all the way to ask for a buff for Zhongli. I think we deserve at least that. A character that is complete at Constellation 0, and with each constellation you make the character more exciting. So in this case, the C1 can maybe buff his shield to be more sturdier, and the C6 move it into his basic kit. Come on. And for his C6 you can introduce like maybe Shred for resistance, like physical resistance or geo resistance, or you can introduce something new for him. For example, like once you use his once you have C6, he have faster attack speed, faster attack damage, or better still, he will have reduced elemental burst cooldown. So that's it, guys. Like, seriously, Zhongli should be playable at Constellation 0 and not Constellation 2, 4 or 6. So with that being said, that's all for my video today. I hope all of you stay safe and take care in this time of uncertainty. Alright guys, this is Sonata. Take care and stay safe.